Welcome back, everybody. According to the latest figures, 85% of the world's millionaires are men, and the racial wealth gap isn't much better. 1 in 7 white families in the U.S. have a net worth of $1 million or more, but only 1 in 50 black families do. Here to talk about it is Rachel Rodgers, CEO of Hello 7 and author of the book Why We Should All Be Millionaires. Hi, Rachel. Thanks so much for being here. Lots to dig into. But overall, just in a broad sense, talk to us about what is holding back women, particularly women of color. What's holding them back from earning more and joining that Millionaires Club?
Yes. Well, I mean, unfortunately, we live in a society that has historically and systemically marginalized women, and Black women most of all, women of color. Women of color still make as low as 54 cents on what a white man will earn, what $1 a white man will earn. And so when we live in a society where there is so much marginalization built into universities, banks, when applying for credit cards and debt, corporations, obviously we're getting it from all sides, sexism and racism at play. And then on top of that, we internalize those messages, which turns out to be imposter syndrome. And so we start to believe that we're not good with money, or we start to believe that we can't earn more. And we're told, cut coupons and stop buying lattes, when that's not really the true path to building wealth.
So let's talk about that true path. And you brought along some ways that not just women, really all people can start to build wealth. The first thing you talk about is setting boundaries. And this is a particularly important one, I think, for women.
Absolutely. I mean, studies show still today, women are doing the vast majority of the domestic labor in our households, right? And so those dishes go to us. All of the emails from our kids' school, it's us, right? And so in order to make money, we need time, right? We need time to think of those money-making ideas, to pursue those different opportunities. And so we need to set boundaries and say, listen, you're going to share in this labor. I am not doing all of the work, okay? So we need to set a boundary and really protect our time, both in the workplace too, because we don't always have to be the one ordering Chad's cake for his birthday party, right? I feel like all of that sort of domestic type labor, even in corporations, winds up falling to women. So we just need to put some strong boundaries in place to start. And that is the first step that we can take. And then we need to think about, how much money do we actually want to be making, right? We think like, oh, I get a finite paycheck. I've got to rely on that paycheck and think about all the ways that I can sort of divide it up. And instead, I want us to think about how much more could we earn, right? What do we actually want, right? Do we want to send our kids to private school? Do we want to be able to put $1,000 a month in the stock market? What are those costs that would really be huge lifestyle changes for us, or things that matter to us that we want to be able to invest in, and figure that out? So if you're someone who's, let's say, making $5,000 a month, but you want to be making 10, well, that's a $5,000 a month gap. That is not insurmountable. Let's start getting our brainstorming going and thinking of ways that we could earn another $5,000 a month. I think these things are in reach for us, but we think that they aren't, right? And so the last thing I would say is then, once you're brainstorming those money-making ideas, think about the skills that you have in your current job, right? So what are you good at? Could you do consulting? Could you build a side business like many of my clients have done to, increase their income significantly? There are so many ways that we could take the skills that we have and turn that into additional money. And so, brainstorming those things, taking some of those assessments like StrengthsFinders or DISC to figure out what are we good at and how could we sell those skills. And then lastly, get a cheer squad to really support you. Studies, and this is very old research, shows that 95% of our success or failure in any endeavor has a lot to do with who we are surrounded by. So if you're surrounded by other ambitious women, other ambitious people who are out there getting after it, you're going to increase your network, right? You're going to increase your opportunities. You share opportunities with each other. You share ideas with each other. And that helps us all go farther.
Yeah, I know. I like that idea of building your squad, because who you surround yourself with can sometimes determine your success or your failure. What about people who like the industry they're in, like what they're doing, but want to be able to earn more? What should the messaging be, when they have those annual compensation talks with their boss?
Yeah, well, I'm a boss, right? I have 27 employees currently. And when I have these conversations, and I tell my own team, right? Tell me, I know as a boss, what I'm thinking about is the needs of the business. How can we increase the profitability of the business, increase the longevity, increase the results that we're getting, right? There are certain metrics that I'm trying to hit as a business owner. And so when my employees say, hey, I can help you increase those metrics. Here's how I add value. Here's what additional I could take on, or here's this additional role that I could take on and how that would serve, or here's how I'm adding value already that maybe you don't see. Let me put it in numbers for you. With that kind of presentation, it's hard to argue with that. And then come with your outside data and evidence as well, but come with some internal data and really appeal to your boss and what they care about, so that you can sort of match what you care about, which is how much you're getting paid, with what they care about. And definitely always negotiate. Sometimes we just don't even ask, and we absolutely should.
And we leave money on the table. All right, Rachel Rodgers, CEO of Hello 7, some good tips you brought along. Thanks so much.